Now that the 11th hour drama regarding the appointment of the Speaker Agni Sapkota has been done and dusted, the Supreme Court yesterday began the hearing process on the writ filed against Sapkota's candidacy. This indicates that there might yet be another twist in the tale as far as Speaker Sapkota's appointment is concerned. Good morning, I am Amar Singh Pradhan and these are the headlines of the hour. The hearing on the writ filed against Speaker Agni Sapkota begins at the Supreme Court. Speaker Sapkota assumes office after taking the oath of office and secrecy. Government proposes for a controversial amendment to the Act for Corruption Watchdog CIAA proposed amendment to shrink the authority's jurisdiction. The Indian government announces to sell its entire stake of Air India, the Indian national carrier, in debt of $3.2 billion. And two more matches at the Martyrs Memorial A-Division League football today. Title contenders Tribune Army taking on Jolakhel in a crucial match. Let's begin with the national political updates. The Supreme Court has begun the hearing on the writ filed seeking to scrap the appointment process of Agni Sapkota as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. The Supreme Court began the hearing on the writ only after Sapkota was appointed Speaker and he assumed his office yesterday. The Supreme Court on Sunday could not conduct the hearing on the writ petition. The case was assigned to a single bench of Justice Hari Fuyal. However, the hearing was deferred as the bench of Justice Fuyal could not look into the writ as Fuyal refused to take on the case, stating that he had pleaded on behalf of the victims in another writ against Sapkota prior to getting appointed as justice. The writ has now been assigned to Justice Sapna Pradhan Malla, whose single bench yesterday started the hearing on the case. The writ petitioner Dinesh Tripathi and advocate Sunil Pokhrel, among others, had pleaded in defense of the writ yesterday. The hearing will continue today. Speaker Agni Sapkota has been charged for the alleged involvement in the murder of Arjun Lama, a resident of Sindhupalchok during the conflict era. The government has proposed for a controversial amendment to the Act for the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority. Based on the proposal, the amendment shrinks the authority's jurisdiction. Critics have opined this would give a leeway to more corruption. The amendment, if approved, would prevent the corruption watchdog from carrying out investigations on decisions of the federal and provincial government, among others. We have a report.
In 1994, the Supreme Court barred the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, CIAA, from looking into the cabinet decision regarding one of the cases linked to the Dhamija scandal. This established what critics call a wrong system, which has continued till date. In the span of 26 years, the authority has not investigated in any of the cabinet decisions that have been mired in corruption controversy. In the meantime, the cabinet has taken up the role of making financial decisions to escape CIAA's interference. In order to control corruption, authorities like CIAA should be more active. The CIAA bill that directly concerns the public, however, was not discussed among the public prior to tabling it at the Parliament. If the bill is endorsed intact, financial decisions of the federal and provincial governments would not be monitored.
Policy implement गर्दा भ्रष्टाचार रहेछमा त कारबाही गर्न पर्यो नि किनभने संविधानले नै नेपालमा एउटा अख्तियार हुनेछ त्यसको काम चाहिँ नि सार्वजनिक पद धारण गरेको व्यक्तिले गरेको भ्रष्टाचारमा कारबाही गर्ने भनेको छ अब त्यो नीतिगत अब हेर्नुस् यो त नीतिगत कुरा यहाँ भ्रष्टाचार गर्न पाइँदैन अनि कसले समात्ने त अनि त्यो सर्टिफिकेट कृत्यले समात्ने त्यो प्रहरीको हलदारलाई खरदारले मुखियाले समातेर हिँड्ने त्यसकारण यहाँ एउटा नेताहरूले पनि कठिन गर्न चाहे अख्तियारको अधिकार किन आफ्नो स्वार्थको लागि.
Since the implementation of the new constitution, CIAA was prohibited from taking actions against public officials alleged of misconduct. The government's decision to limit the authority's jurisdiction has given ways to more malpractices.
भ्रष्टाचार व्यापक बढ्छ हेर्नुस् किनभने तपाईं हेर्नुस् पुलिसले मानवाधिकार उल्लङ्घन गर्दाखेरि अख्तियारले मानवाधिकार उल्लङ्घन गर्दा डराउने हो भ्रष्टाचार गर्ने मान्छे त अख्तियारसँग डराउनु पर्ने हुन्छ भ्रष्टहरू अख्तियारसँग डराउनु पर्ने हो अब अहिले उल्टो त म के देख्छु भने तपाईको अख्तियार नै आफ्नै अधिकारमा कन्फ्युज भइरहेको छ क्या त्यो.
The corruption watchdog has been reporting that the government's decision to take even the simplest of proposals to the cabinet as a way to dodge investigation into corruption allegations. Experts opine the proposed CIAA bill has ignored the authorities' recommendations and shrunk its effectiveness.
Welcome back. The Immigration Department has installed a new software named Port in its 12 offices, including the one at the Tribhuvan International Airport. The department has installed the software to record the data of tourists visiting Nepal along with their biometrics. The Immigration Department has claimed that this new software will help in controlling drug smuggling and human trafficking. Likewise, the department will have the details of the students and the laborers after the installation of the software. The officials at the department have stated that the immigration process would be easier with the new system. With the new software, tourists now can pay their visa fees through digital cards. The Immigration Department installed the software with a budget of 220 million rupees. And time now for international update. The Indian government's announcement that it will sell its entire stake in its national carrier Air India is being seen as a much more exciting proposition for potential buyers. A document inviting expressions of interest was released yesterday. The document says that any bidder would have to take on around $3.2 billion of debt along with the other liabilities. The announcement comes more than a year after a bid to sell a controlling stake in the airline did not attract buyers. The divestment of Air India has been a key agenda of the Indian government, which has been trying to offload loss-making companies and improve its balance sheet in the face of the slowest economic growth in a decade. For years, Air India has blamed high aviation fuel prices, high airport usage charges, competition from low-cost carriers, weakening of the rupee, as well as a high interest burden for its poor financial performance. Air India has 146 aircrafts with employee base of 14,000 people. And we have more news coming up, but right now it's time for another short break. And in our public voice segment, we had asked the students of Mahakali School in Kavre how have they applied their theoretical knowledge into practice. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Public voice.
काम गरेर कहिले वेटर बन्नुपर्छ कहिले कुक बन्नुपर्छ विभिन्न कामहरु गर्नुपर्छ त्यसैले यो कुराहरु पनि सिक्नको लागि हामीले यो प्रयोगात्मक अभ्यास गरेका हौं
पूर्वेली भक्काहरु पनि बनाउन सिकेको थियो अनि आज चाहिँ त्यो पूर्वेली भक्का बनाएर व्यवसाय गर्दै छ
चटपटेहरु पनि अब यो अर्गानिक वस्तुहरु युज गरेर बनाएको छ त्यसैगरी दुनोट पनि घरमै केमिकलहरु केही पनि नहालेर जंक फुडको केही युज नगरिकन बनाएको छ
क्लासमा जे पढ्यौं त्यही अनुसार हामीले चाहिँ अब यहाँ हाम्रो स्टाफमा बनाएर अब बेचिरहेछ
छोटा छोटै परिकारहरु बनाउन दिनु भइछ अनि हाम्रो चाहिँ एकदम अर्गानिक तरिकाले सबै स्थानीय सामानहरु हालेर बनाएको छ
केही पनि गर्न आउँदैन थियो मोमो पकाउन त परै जाओस् खाना पकाउन सुद्धा म घर पकाउँदिन थिए तर आज गुरुहरुले सिकाए अनुसार हामीले मोमो पकाएका छौं मोमो पनि अरूलाई सोध्दाखेरि मिठै बनेको छ भन्नु भएको छ
And now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with their opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what is the reason behind the government's attempt to amend the Cooperatives Act? Your options are A, demand of time, option B, vested interest, and option C, lack of government's vision. The voting for the question is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And let's move on to sports update.
Sports news.
Title contenders Tribhuvan Army Club will take on Jaulakhel Youth Club in today's match under Martyrs Memorial A-Division League Football. The match to be held at Enfa Ground in Lalitpur will kick off from 3 in the afternoon today. Army have the opportunity to climb to the top of the league by earning full points. Army currently trails the league leaders Machindra by 2 points. Tribhuvan Army have 17 points from 8 matches, while Machindra have 19 points from 9 matches. Likewise, Jaulakhel, which is aiming for top 6 finish, can also pose a few problems for the Army men. Likewise, in the first match of the day today, also scheduled at Enfa Ground, Himalayan Sherpa will take on bottom place Saraswati Club. The Sherpa Club is in the 12th position, while it is going to be the last opportunity for Saraswati to come out of the relegation zone by clinching 3 points. And now time for a special segment, Sports Buzz.
years after bagging the One-Day International or ODI status, Nepal is playing a home series. Nepal is playing a triangular series under World Cup League 2 against Oman and USA beginning next week from 5th of February. Even as players are excited at the opportunity to showcase their talent at home ground, they are well aware of the challenge posed by the tough opposition this time around. The League Championship is the backbone for the qualification for the 2023 World Cup. Following their close camp training in Pokhara, the national team arrived in the capital last Friday. Nepal has prepared the team by blending experience and youth talent, as the team comprises two new faces in the form of batsman Kusal Malla and fast bowler Kamal Singh Airi. There was a time when Oman and USA were no match to Nepal, but with changing scenario, win-loss equation between these countries too has changed. The top-ranked USA and the fourth-placed Oman are sure to give a tough fight to Team Nepal. The triangular series involving host Nepal along with Oman and USA will take place at Kantipur's TU ground. Barcelona suffered an embarrassing 2-0 loss at the hands of Valencia. It was early setback for the new manager, Quique Setién, who tasted first defeat after taking the Barcelona reins as manager. Setién had enjoyed a good start to his Barca reign, guiding the club to victories over Granada in La Liga and Udivisa in the Copa del Rey round of 32. The defeat means that Barcelona missed out on the opportunity to take a lead at the top. Meanwhile, Real Madrid made most of Barca blunder as they moved to the top of the La Liga for the first time since October after grinding out a 1-0 win away at Real Valladolid. Real Madrid are now at the top of the La Liga with 46 points, 3 points clear of their arch-rivals, Barcelona. This is Amit Bakrel for Sports Buzz and Kantipur News Desk.
And before we wrap up this morning news bulletin, here's a look at the top stories one more time. The hearing on the writ filed against Speaker Agni Sapkota begins at the Supreme Court. The Speaker Sapkota assumes office after taking the oath of office and secrecy. Government proposes for a controversial amendment to the Act for Corruption Watchdog CIA, proposed amendment to shrink the authority's jurisdiction. The Indian government announces to sell its entire stake of Air India, the Indian national carrier, in a debt of $3.2 billion. And two more matches at the Martyrs Memorial A-Division League football today. Title contenders Tribhuvan Army taking on Jolak Hill in a crucial match. And that's all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 a.m. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KDVSD. Good day.